Hi y'all, I'm Chase. This is my 2017 Road King with a Milwaukee-Eight 107, affectionately known as Alice. And today we are going out. I need to pick up some oil for Alice here for an oil change. Boy, this road is really butt puckering. Looks like somebody went over it with the went over the gravel and tried to, I don't know, redistribute it. Only by redistributing it, it made it worse for me. So anyways, I need to get some oil for Alice here. But I think today we are going to talk about, well, Harley-Davidson. You guys need to really get a beginner bike. Seriously. You don't have an 883 Sportster anymore, and that 975, I hate to tell you guys, but that is not a beginner bike. That is a 1990s Japanese sport bike, pretty much, or at least in power. And that is definitely not a beginner bike. Yeah, the Nightster, Sportster, whatever you want to call it, that just won't do. And you guys want people to start out on a bike, it also needs to be a lot cheaper. And I know that's a really hard thing to, I don't know, for Harley, for you guys to grasp. I know with unions and parts and, you know, labor and everything else, you know, it's hard to make something, let's call it affordable. But honestly, you guys need like a $6,000 bike, maybe $7,000. You guys lose out a lot on, you know, beginner bikes. You guys could make quite a bit of money on that. You know, at one point in time, I don't know, but I know that Harley owned a company, Aramachi, I think. Either they owned it or I don't remember. I'm pretty sure they owned it. I have the big book of Harley at my house or something. It's got a lot of pictures because, well, I'm a goof and I like pictures. And I'm dumb, so. Whew. All right, off the lip. Oh, yeah. But anyways, you guys, once upon a time, you made little 250s and 450s. Well, you didn't make them. Some Italian company in, I can't remember the exact Italian city, I'm sorry. But they made little, you know, 250s and 350s or 450s. I can't remember what, you know. You guys even had dirt bikes at one point, or at least dual sports, I think. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I got that book out. Maybe I'll get it out and I'll thumb through it and give you guys some ideas about what I was talking about right here. Back to what I was saying, but Harley needs to come out with a bike that is for beginners. And it can't be $9,000. It's not going to fly. And it has to be styled right too. I mean, honestly, if you guys made a bike that looked like those old Aramachi Harley-Davidsons, I'm telling you, I think they would sell because, you know, that nostalgia trip. I've talked about it before in videos and why. I mean, old Mary Jane here. People love the Road King. They just like it. It looks like an old Harley should look, but it's new. If you would do that with something that was a little 250 or 300 or 350 or 400, something along those lines, you know, that looked classic, that would make a big difference for Harley-Davidson. I mean, it would probably be huge because people don't realize that you know, certain people like certain brands. But if your first bike is a Harley-Davidson and it weighs 500 and some pounds, and, well, you're not a stubborn bastard like I am, and wreck or not, terrified or not, you're gonna buy something that heavy and that you're not used to, your chances of becoming a successful motorcycle enthusiast, rider, whatever you want to call it, man, big girl gets up and moves. Whew. I don't usually ring her out like that. I usually short shift the gears a little, but man, she really does move. That tune I got on this boy with the intake and the exhaust already, oh boy, that works. Chef's kiss. But back to what I was saying, a lot of people, I've seen people that have, you know, restored those bikes. You know, it's something that, you know, it's from childhood, or, you know, these guys that were alive, you know, in the 60s and the 70s, you know, they got to have something we never had. You know, my age group, you know, late 80s, early 90s kids. You know, you're 10 years old, 11 years old, and your pop comes home with a dirt bike. Well, in our case, it was, you know, a Yamaha or a Honda or, you know, something like that. But, you know, the older guys, they got to experience, I don't know, that pride of ownership. I mean, I know they were made in Italy, but they were sold here, and it, you know, that, I don't know, it just felt special, it seems like, these guys, when you see them talk about, oh man, I remember getting on my, I can't remember the names, but like my Zipper or whatever it was, and oh man, it was like the best thing ever. And you know, ever since then I had that bike, I've just been a Harley guy for life. I had so much fun on it. You know, you hear these guys talk about it, and you know, it's one of those things where you can really feel how they feel. And Honda, I mean, you know, not to take anything away from Harley, but Honda actually had to come to the realization that while they sell 250s and 500 Rebels, well, when people move up, they're moving up to a cruiser. Well, guess what? Honda doesn't have a cruiser. They don't have a large capacity, you know, engine cruiser. I mean, nothing over 500, you know, cubic inches. And they wanted to retain those customers. So what did they do? Well, they came out with, you know, the Honda Rebel 1100. And I've seen, or, you know, heard, or, you know, there's been whispers of they might even come out with a larger bore model, a 1300 or a 1500. That would be pretty awesome, actually. But Harley needs to go the other way. You know, they need to have something that people can get that's not outrageously priced, to get, you know, to get that foot in the door, you know, to snatch that younger customer that's just looking for something like as a commuter, or maybe on the weekend, you know, dual sport, something like that they can take on the road, they can use it to go to work. If Harley could do that, that would be a very big difference. You know, that would, I mean, just those sales alone. Now, I don't know if they would be able to build it here or not, but I bet they could probably get in with an Indian manufacturer, being that they already are building bikes overseas. They're not sent here to America, but, you know, if they could get them built in India and have them be the same level of quality as, say, a Royal Enfield, man, that would be a big difference. It'd be a huge difference, in fact. And the only reason I say this, I'm not saying it to rag on Harley for not having something. It's because you know, in the country you live in, you want people to be proud of, you know, their manufacturing. You know, it's a point of pride. You know, I'm sure, you know, Japanese guys feel this way, or BMW, you know, guys that ride BMWs over in Germany, or, you know, Italians about Ducatis or Aprilias. You know, there's some pride there, you know, that, I don't know, it's, if your country's not building anything, they're not really a country. Or at least one that's gonna matter. And if Harley can expand and matter more, that's not gonna hurt the US economy, and it's not gonna hurt our, you know, our company worldwide, you know, Harley-Davidson worldwide. It's not gonna hurt them. It's something that, you know, I've met a lot of guys that they would like to see. Guys will talk, oh yeah, you know, I started out on a Rebel 250 or a Rebel 500, or, you know, I was on a Yamaha dirt bike. You know, that was like my first bike. Now granted, I went from that Yamaha dirt bike in my, you know, mid-teens, early teens, to not riding again until, well, hell, about 12 years ago. So, and I'm about and you know, I'm 40 now, so. But you know, you just want to see them succeed, because, you know, there's too many companies that close down or get bought out. With Harley, they have been around since 1903, I think. So you can for sure be sure that when you buy a Harley, there's, you know, there's something there that, you know, it's a company that hasn't just petered out. And yes, they were sold off to AMF for a short time. But, you know, they've always been running. The factories have always been running. They're in constant, well, 2 weeks. They had to shut down for a couple weeks this year for some reason. I don't really know what that was, but the factory didn't close permanently. You know, Harley didn't go out of business. You know, that's been on my mind a lot, because, you know, I see a lot of new riders, and they're out on, you know, smaller bikes, you know, little 300s and 500s or 250s, stuff like that. And the fact that Harley doesn't have one of those, it's kind of bothered me for a while. That's going to be all. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like and subscribe. Click that dingling to be notified of any new videos I come out with. All that stuff. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. And bye, y'all.